And I can tell you right now, I'm going to take 10 minutes, not 5 to 7. Sorry, Dana. That's the way it is. But, you know, I've heard Mike Bartley use the phrase before, we don't know what we don't know. And I find it to be so true because the more I learn and the older I get, the more I realize I really just don't know what I don't know. And it's a lot. Now, I know some things I don't know, like, for instance, why my wife doesn't like it when I pinch the back of her arm. No big deal to me. Or like how many licks it takes to get to the middle of this lollipop. Or how my wife or my family or my daughters can go shopping all day and come home with nothing. Why I didn't listen more in math class. All those things perplex my mind. But I don't know what I don't know. And there's really more. What made me dig for the answers was actually a text I received today in a conversation I had last week with a close friend. I was hanging out at a friend's house, and the close friend and I, we recently lost a couple of really good friends in a tragic accident. And as we were talking, I deal with things a little bit differently he does, so I tend to joke a lot. So I said to him in a very joking way, you know, they always seem to take the good ones, but why doesn't God take the bad ones? Okay, it's a little morbid, I know, but it's my sense of humor. And he looked at me, he said, well, Mike, you know, honestly, with a real serious face, he said, in a time like these, is there really a God? And that comment really bothered me because at first I thought he was just joking back, but then I realized that he wasn't joking at all. And I wish at that moment I had some real gee-whiz answer, some whiz-bang thing to lay right there on the table, more than just, hey, here's how I feel, but something concrete, something permanent to give him. But I had nothing. And so I just sat there and listened. And that's really more what he needed. But, you know, I'm a guy. And guys are fixers, right? You know, ladies lay it out there and they just want to be heard, but guys got to fix all these little problems. And so it bothered me because I'm a fixer, and I had no fix for it. So I started digging a little bit and really came up with no good answer. But a couple nights ago, I was cruising to Horseshoe Bend, and somebody said something to me that just gave me an aha moment. They said, it's all about perspective. Because he and I were talking about people's problems and how they look at problems from their own foxhole. He said, it's all perspective. So again, aha. And I started digging a little bit today, and I actually had something totally different I was going to talk tonight about, and I threw it out and grabbed up some of these things. You know, Bible's like a blueprint, right? We lay blueprints out on a big table, at least in the old days. We used to lay big blueprints out on a big table and read them. And it's really like a blueprint. It's a set of instructions. It's like an atlas, for those of you that know what an atlas is, not just a GPS. It's like an atlas, like a set of maps you open up, and it gives you instructions on how to get there. That's really what the Bible is for us. And it's all planned out. Because if you look from Genesis to Revelation, it's laid out in a logical manner. It's like a logarithm. It's not just a bunch of stories and books just thrown together for the people to figure out. It's a logical manner, and it builds on itself. So I started really taking a look at that and trying to figure out, you know, what kind of answer can I give my friend? Because the conversation's not over with him. I'll be going back. I got to re-engage on that one, right? And I started looking at, we all know the story of Job, right? And I'm going to chop up his story, so please forgive me. But Job, his faith was tested. He was on the top of the world. He went in one day from being the man to being a man that nobody wanted to talk to or even look at. He was living on top of the world, and this world crashed down around him. And really it was faith and his perspective that got him through it. In Job 13 it says, though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. It goes on in Job 19:13 through 19, or Job 19:13 through verse 19. He says, he has alienated me, or my family from me. My acquaintances are completely estranged from me. My relatives have gone away. My closest friends have forgotten me. My guests and female servants count me as a foreigner. They look at me as a stranger. I summon my servant, but he does not answer, though I beg him with my own mouth. My breath is offensive to my wife. I am loathsome to my own family. Even the little boys scorn me. When I appear, they ridicule me. All my intimate friends detest me. Those I love have turned against me. Again, it's faith that sees Job through. Later in Job 42, 1 through 5, it says, Then Job replied to the Lord, I know that you can do all things. No purpose of yours can be thwarted. You asked, who is this that obscures my plans without knowledge? Surely I spoke of things I do not understand, things too wonderful for me to know. You said, listen now, and I will speak. I will question you, and you will answer me. My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you. God doesn't give us anything bigger than what we can carry. Unfortunately, sometimes that load seems so burdensome that a lot of people give up and they lose focus of the main thing, and they throw that load down and they just walk away. God's going to help us through that, and He's going to help us be able to get to the end of our trail carrying that burden if we just have a little bit of faith. God tells us in John 16:33, in the world you will have tribulation and trials and distress and frustration. So He warns us, right? It's a-coming. In 1 Corinthians 13:12 says, now we see things imperfectly like puzzling reflections in a mirror, but then we will see everything with perfect clarity. All that I know now is partial and incomplete, but then I will know everything completely, just as God knows me completely. And then lastly, over in Proverbs 3:5-6, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on our own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. Will we always be able to make sense of tragedy? No. It says it right there. Will we always figure out the why to our questions? Probably not. It says it right there. But God works through us in ways we just don't understand. And we're really, at least I've come to the conclusion that we're not really meant to understand. Some things are going to be a mystery till the end of our time here. And then, like it says in the previous verse I read, we'll figure it out a little bit later on. You know, a few minutes ago, I talked about a text, and it's an example of bad happens in the world. Bad happens in our lives. But a lot of times, just like that poppy in the field growing out of a vast wasteland, we can pick the good things from the bad. I'll give you an example. I mentioned a text a little earlier, and why I changed the whole scope of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. It's about 2 months ago, I'm driving along, minding my own business like every good cop does. And there's a car in front of me going somewhere around 90 and a 65. Because I had nothing else going on, I decided to stop him and say hi, talk to him. Well, I walked up to the car, and there was a young guy, 19, a young girl, 17, and minding their own business, cruising along down the interstate. And I started to talk to him, and I found out the girl, she's 17, but she's not a runaway. Her mom and dad knew who she was, pretty much. Her and him had been bouncing between Colorado, California. There's some common things between California and Colorado. But bouncing between Colorado and California, and then back up through Idaho. So I went ahead and just ran her to figure out who she was. And she had a warrant in the state of Washington, but hey, it's not extraditable. It's nothing old Mike can do about it. She just gets to go on her separate way. I smelled weed. I smelled marijuana in the vehicle. So just asked her and the guy out, go stand up beside the wall on the interstate and check their vehicle, went through it a little bit, and went through their bags, their luggage, and all the other stuff they had in there, all their junk. Found a bag of weed, found a couple pipes. Okay, but I'm not going to arrest her for it. I got bigger things to arrest people for than a weed and a couple pipes. So I cited her, gave her a couple tickets, and was going to send her on her way, but the dad came out in me. And when anybody's under about the age of 20, they're probably going to get a dad lecture on the side of the road, too. It's an opportunity they have, right? Got to rehearse them for my kids as they grow up. So I stood there, and I stuck the guy in the car, because I don't really care about the guy too much at that point. He's just driving too doggone fast, dork. So, but the girl, she didn't have the look or the exterior of a hardcore drug user yet. And the way she talked and the look in her eye, and something just kind of told me that she still had something soft about her. So we'll call her Mary, for lack of a better name. So as I'm talking to Mary, she starts to cry a little bit. And then she wipes it away. She's kind of a stern face and angry. And because I'm getting I'm a cop, right? I'm ruining her day. And I told her, you know what, Mary? I can tell this isn't you, and today is the first day of the rest of your life. You have a perfect opportunity to go out and do great things. I have faith that you're redeemable. And she kind of looked at me strange, said, what? And I said, I have faith that you're redeemable. And I said, I don't need anything else if you're ready to roll. She said, okay, thanks. Grabbed her stuff, threw her back in her car, took off down the road. And honestly, I forgot about her. Okay, go on to the next stop. They're gone. Until a couple days later, about 24, 48 hours later, I get a text. Or I get an email. Her mom got a hold of me through the department. Sent me an email. First of all, I wanted to know why in the world I let her daughter go. I had to explain to her why, and she left a phone number, so I called her. But also she said that, her daughter's been dealing in dope. Her daughter's been kind of not on the run, but she hasn't wanted to come home, and she's been down a bad path for a while. Wanted to know what the next step was, so I talked to her for a while. And fortunately, just after we got off the phone, just like Mary said she was doing, she was going home to see Mom. She went home to see Mom. I'll spend a little bit of time with her. She got arrested. Okay, she had a warrant, and she went to jail. And again, after that conversation, didn't think anything of it. This morning I got a text. Remember I was talking about God works in mysterious ways. And God, through us, shines more than we realize. And even though a lot of times it's our perspective of how we see how we're acting or what we say or how things are impacting people, sometimes it's more powerful than you think. And just like Job had faith that things were going to get better and had faith in God, that he was the man, this text kind of hit it home, all those things for me. I put my cheaters on, so definitely can't see this. So it says, good morning. I visited Mary for this first time since she's been moved to Echo Glen Children's Lockdown in Snoqualmie for a 134-day sentence. During our visit, she talked about you, how she is sure God put you there that day to bring her hope. I just wanted to say thank you and for the kind words you spoke to her, saying that she was redeemable. She really took that to heart, and she's talked about it often, and your words are still in her thoughts. We appreciate you. God is good. God is great. If you need prayers or you have something to get off your chest and bring before the church tonight, please come as we stand and sing.